Hey guys, so it's Thursday, January 27th. Been a hell of a day, to be honest. So it's currently 1:48 in the afternoon. I think I mentioned it in one of my other videos, but I caught COVID at the end of December of 2021. I was in the hospital. I was hospitalized from December 27th to, I believe, January 8th or 9th. So I was in the hospital for like roughly 8 or 9 days. It was rough. I was sick for a while, but I got over it. You know, knock on wood, wherever wood is around here, knock on wood, right? But because I was out and off work for 8 days, I was forced to take FMLA leave, which, I don't know, not necessarily forced, because honestly, like, even after I got out of the hospital, I wasn't, like, necessarily fully recovered. I was just good enough to go home, and so I did kind of need, like, probably that extra week to just be at home and not work. But it's been like, I don't know, probably like 2 weeks now, because I've been off work for like a solid month. It's been like 2 weeks, probably since I have, you know, been feeling well enough to work and haven't been able to work, because don't know if you guys have experience of this, but with FMLA leave, you have to send in, like, the whole process has been crazy. Like, I've haven't even worked directly like with my managers. It's like this third-party company that works for CarMax. It's like called Absence One, and like the whole thing has just been terrible. I can never get anybody on the phone. There's not like proper emails to email people. It's a mess. So I sent in my COVID test results, because I was in the hospital, and this was actually while I was in the hospital, right? So I called I think I texted my boss the day that I was calling out, and I was like, hey, I'm sick. And at that point I didn't know that I had COVID, but I knew something was wrong. So I went to the hospital. I texted him the next day to let him know, hey, I've been hospitalized. I have COVID. I'm not sure when I'm going to be back at work yet, you know, or if I'm going to be back at work. So, he was like, okay, I don't know. He was very brief. I think he was like, okay, thank you for letting me know. And then a couple of days later, I got an email from the main manager, or like the president or something, I don't know, some upper up manager. Got an email from them saying that, hey, we need a copy of your positive COVID test results to verify that you have COVID. Meanwhile, I'm in the hospital still. I'm still dealing with COVID itself, and I'm like, all right. So I had to ask my nurse to get me a copy of the COVID positive test results so I could take a picture of it and send it to my boss, or, you know, CarMax. And so I sent that to them. And then I got an email response the next day talking about FMLA leave, saying that I needed to take FMLA, because I was in the hospital and off work, whatever, yada yada. So then the next day, mind you, while I'm still in the hospital, I called Absence One, requested the FMLA by phone, and everything, as far as to my knowledge, was squared away. I got several emails later that day saying that I needed to submit all this other documents and all this other stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to do that right now. One, I don't have access to a computer or internet, and two, I'm sick in the hospital with COVID. I don't have the ability to deal with this right now. I will have to deal with this when I get home. So then when I got home, I called them. You know, it's been back and forth. Haven't been able to get a straight answer on a lot of things for right away. At first, I thought that I was supposed to be paid while I was off. I called and then I talked to them after 3 or 4 phone calls with them. They finally said, no, you haven't been at CarMax for a year, so you have no benefits. You're not being paid for this leave. It's an unpaid leave. And I'm like, awesome. So that happened. So I've been off work, haven't had an income, haven't been able to go back to work because I need the doctor, the endocrinologist who saw me in the hospital, to see me once again for a follow-up, to then say that I'm okay to go back to work and then go back to work. Also, I guess just in general, I need to follow up with an endocrinologist anyway, because I don't have one of those. And yeah, so this kind of works out for me in the sense that I needed an endocrinologist anyway, so it's fine, I guess. But what's annoying is that I have to have them sign off for me to go back to work. Now, today, I had an appointment at 11 o'clock. Awesome. Except it started snowing. Snowing cats and dogs. And so I left early because I knew it was snowing and I knew that I was going to have issues because my car, whatever, I've never driven really much in snow. So, let's leave early. So that's what I did. I left early. And I went to the office, or what I thought was the office. I went to the wrong office because apparently there are 2 Denver endocrinologies. That's literally what the office is called. It's called Denver Endocrinology. There's 2 of them though. So the one I went to was Denver Endocrinology and Thyroid, which is actually technically kind of in Denver, but kind of not in Denver. It's actually more in Inglewood. And that was not the right office. So then I was told that I needed to go to this office that was actually in Denver, that was much closer to my house. So that made sense. But the problem was that my appointment was at 11. I didn't get back into my car until 11:40. So I called the endocrinology office and I was like, hey, this is what happened. It says I'm 30 minutes away. Are you still able to see me today? They told me that they were going to have to get back to me and that they would let me know. I was like, all right, cool. So I took it upon myself to just drive over here because I'm like, well, if nothing else, if they can't see me for whatever reason, then I can at least make an appointment, right? Because I'm already here. So I'm like, all right. So I drive all the way over here. It takes me at least 45 minutes, maybe an hour. And it's only like a 30-minute drive, maybe 20 minutes, honestly, on the good day. But because of the snow, it's just, the roads are terrible. I literally, as I was turning onto the street that, like, where this freaking office is at, there was so much snow that I couldn't even see the street. And so I literally drove over a curb and a freaking snowbank and, like, just, but luckily my car just kind of powered through it. But yeah, that was terrifying because I wasn't even on the street. I drove over a curb. So anyways, dealt with all that, found parking, then took me an additional 30 minutes just to find the office, because the office is across the street from the hospital that I was hospitalized at, except, which, is fine, but there is a crap ton of construction going on right now, so everything is blocked off, and so Google doesn't know how to tell me to get there, because the way that it wants to get me there, I can't go there because there's construction there. So finally, after 30 minutes, I found the office, went up there, was like, hey, had an appointment at 11 o'clock, it's now 1. I know it's probably a long shot that you're probably not going to be able to see me, but I just wanted to check, and if you aren't able to see me, can you schedule me another appointment since I'm here? So they're like, okay, let me, the receptionist was really nice. She's like, okay, let me ask this person because they know a little bit more than I do. And I was like, all right, cool. So she goes and talks to that person and she's like, hey, yeah, they said that they didn't have time to see you today. But we're going to go ahead and call you this afternoon to schedule you an appointment. And I was like, but I'm literally standing right here. Like, you can't schedule me an appointment. Like, I understand, like, not being able to see me. I totally get that because my appointment was hours ago. It was at 11 o'clock, not 1 o'clock. And so I get that. But I'm like, you can't take 10 minutes to fucking schedule an appointment? Like, why? Why? Like, I'm standing right here. Like, you're gonna make me go home and you're gonna call me later this afternoon to make an appointment. Like, that's just bizarro land to me. Like, I don't understand that. So after being, basically shoved out the door, I came back to my car and now I'm here. And I'm frustrated because I need to go back to work. I haven't worked in a month, and there's all this freaking red tape and paperwork and all these hoops that I have to jump through, and I'm literally like, I'm just baffled. Like, I don't understand. Like, I could understand needing a copy of, like, the test results, right? Like, that's fair. Like, there's, unfortunately, there's crappy people in this world that, fake having COVID and, just get a couple days off work or a week off work or whatever. So I understand about wanting to, verify and validate the fact that I had COVID, right? But then you're making the process for me to go back to work, like, once I'm well, so difficult. Like, why? Like, just let me go back to work. Simple as that. Like, you guys want me to work. Like, I get texts from my manager all the time asking me when I'm coming back, but I can't come back until I have the paperwork signed. So, I don't know. I'm just very frustrated, and this has not been a good day. And on top of which, my roommate texted everybody and said that she has COVID now. So I'm like, awesome. Which I felt a little guilty about, and I'm like, well, maybe she caught COVID for me. And I was like, no, that doesn't make any sense, because if you think about the timelines, right? Like, she just caught COVID currently. I had COVID end of December, so she would have gotten it probably at the latest sometime around New Year's, and she didn't. She was fine. So I know she didn't get it from me. She probably got it, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how COVID works anymore. I don't think anybody really knows anymore. She could have gotten it literally from anywhere. She could have got it from the leasing office. She could have gotten it from work. She could have gotten it from Walmart. Like, who freaking knows anymore? So either way, she has COVID. I'm hoping I don't catch it again. My doctor said that I should have, a immunity or whatever from a natural immunity, because I had COVID already. But that only applies if it's the same variant. I'm honestly not sure what variant I even had, let alone what she has. She's probably not going to know either. So, I don't know. The waiting game. We'll wait and see. She is self-quarantining in her room. I'm going to self-quarantine for a week just because I don't, she has it. I don't want to give it to anybody else. I'm going to try not to. So I'm going to go home and pet my cats. And then I'm going to go do some homework because I have a lot of assignments to do. I guess the only blessing in disguise is that if I don't get to go back to work until next week, I at least have time to catch up on my homework, because currently I'm behind. So there's that. But honestly, financially, this isn't a great situation for me right now. So keep your fingers crossed, guys, and pray for me that there's some solutions to these problems, because I'm going to be in a lot of trouble here in a minute. So, hey guys, happy Monday. It's Monday, January 31st. It's around 5 o'clock. I haven't really vlogged much of today. I actually don't think I've vlogged since my endocrinology appointment / fail appointments. So a little update on that. I was finally able to reach out to somebody today. Somebody got back to me. They said that they basically have me on a wait list for cancellation appointments. And then they called me back like 5 minutes later, and they're like, hey, we have February the 15th open. And I was like, cool, what day of the week is that? And they're like, Tuesday. And I was like, well, I work Tuesdays, so that's not going to be possible. I was like, the only days that I'm available are Wednesday and Thursday. And she's like, well, doctor's not in on Wednesday, so I'll put you down for Thursday at some point. I was like, awesome. So at this point, I'm still on a wait list. I still don't have an appointment. Even the appointment that they did offer me was 2 weeks out, so not doing great as far as endocrinology goes. I did I did decide that I'm going to go ahead and send my FMLA paperwork, my return to work paper, to my primary care doctor. I think as long as it's signed off by a doctor that I have seen or see on a regular basis, I think I should be fine. And I've just seen them recently, like I saw them on the 9th, so we should be good there. So I'm hoping to go back to work this week. On that note, I haven't really been feeling great the last few days. This morning I woke up, was super nauseous, had a really bad migraine, not sure what's happening there. But I took some Tylenol. I do feel a little bit better, but I'm still having a lot of stomach issues. So I was able to eat a little bit of breakfast. It's approaching 5 o'clock and I'm really not feeling dinner at all. So I think if I can't really get much of anything down, I'll probably just do like a protein shake. I know it's not great to skip meals like that, but honestly, I don't think I could eat anything else today. I feel really sick still, so I'm not really sure if it's blood sugar related or dehydration, because I do feel a little dehydrated. So I'm wondering if maybe I'm just haven't been getting in enough water as I usually get in, and so maybe that's why I'm feeling really crappy the last few days. I don't really know. But it's kind of put a monkey in the wrench for me as far as school, because I'm late on assignments. Luckily, I have super nice professors, and I did reach out to them yesterday, and I was like, hey, I'm really not feeling well. I haven't been feeling well the last couple of days. I'm probably going to have these assignments in late. If there's any way you can give me an extension, awesome. If not, I'll just take the late penalty. Both of my professors were really sweet and understanding. They said, no, that's fine. Just turn it in whenever you're feeling better. And I was like, okay, cool. So I'm going to try to get a jump start on my schoolwork today, because I am anticipating on going back to work probably Friday. So I really need to have everything done for the week by like Thursday night. So that really only gives me like 3 days. And I have a lot to do, because not only do I have last week's module, but I have this week's module to finish as well before Friday. So yeah, and I'm just, oh man, I've been kind of slacking lately and pushing things off into the last minute. That's basically what happened last week, is I pushed it off until the last minute, and then the last minute came, and then I started not feeling good. So then I physically wasn't able to do it, and so I am now stacked, and I have way too much to do this week, and I am feeling a little stressed about that. So I'm going to do homework, and then I'm going to do a couple other things I needed to do. I'm going to file my taxes, and I'm going to send that email off to my physician to see if I can, hopefully go back to work this week. And hopefully feeling better. I have my water and some coffee, which coffee probably isn't great on my stomach, but honestly, I'm just so tired that I don't even think I could do anything without caffeine. So finishing up my coffee, finishing up my water, and I will check in with you guys in a bit. Hello, I'm vlogging. I haven't vlogged really at all this week. Sorry about that. Honestly, I haven't left the house in a couple days. I guess I did leave Monday. I went grocery shopping and I went to my sister's house, and I really not anything to put in the vlog, I guess. But then yesterday, I literally stayed home because we got a snowstorm here, and honestly, they say snowstorm. I'm not even really sure how much snow we got. I left today to leave the house to go to my doctor's appointment, and there's like nothing on the roads, basically. It's pretty much clear, so. But anyway, we got a snowstorm yesterday, so I stayed home. Because I didn't want to be out in that. I didn't need to be, really. I didn't have anything going on. So today, I'm here at my doctor's appointment. I'm actually finally seeing a new psychiatrist to, one, get a refill on my medication and maybe kind of touch base and see how things are working for me. For those of you that may not know, if you've seen this channel before, you probably do know, but I have depression, anxiety, or generalized anxiety is the official name for it, GAD, and PTSD. So I struggle with my mental health a lot. I am on medication for it. I do take what is it? I take Effexor, that's my antidepressant. I take Seroquel for my insomnia. Oh yeah, and I have insomnia. Sometimes I wonder though, I'm like, do I actually have insomnia, or do I just have really bad anxiety that I just can't sleep at night? I don't really know, but the official diagnosis is that it is insomnia. But I don't know, like I said, I question it, but I'm on that, and then I'm also on Xanax twice a day for anxiety, so I'm on a lot. I did just recently go back to therapy. I had my first intake appointment on Monday, and that actually went fairly well. I really like my therapist. I think he's a neat person, and he explains things very well. So it's not like it's just all talk therapy and like, you know, draw me a picture of your childhood kind of thing, but he does also like explain the psychological side of how things are working, and I really appreciate that because it gives me more knowledge, and also helps me out in school because I'm a psych major. So I feel like it's good. I feel like it's a good fit. He does, in the first initial appointment that we had, he did explain that he does like to focus on childhood trauma and development and things like that. So there will be a little bit of that talk therapy basis, but then I'll also, so it's not like just me talking, like he'll actually sit there and explain to me like what's happening. So and he did explain that a therapy technique that he uses, I think it's EMDR. I googled it a little bit, and it does have pretty successful results with people who have experienced trauma and have anxiety and PTSD. So I'm pretty excited. I don't know. We'll take it kind of step by step. Like I said, my intake appointment went really well, but I haven't had my first like actual therapy session yet. That will be next week, so I'll try to remember to update you guys on that. Sorry about the lighting too. I'm in the parking lot and the sun is like directly coming into my window on my driver's side, and so it's like making me like look glowing, I guess, or really pale, however you see. I'm almost like ghost-like from what I can see. I don't know how this will actually turn out when I edit the video, but yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and go in and get registered and sign in and do the paperwork and all that, and then I will probably update you guys after.